Hey everyone, I'm going to be starting something new called What's on the Stack, where I go over some of the relevant things happening with Commander. So, let's start off. First thing I like to go over is Commander 2019. Going to be released on August 23rd, less than a month away, and based on some potential leaks, we might be knowing the themes of the four decks that are going to be released. The, the themes are going to be centered around previous keywords: madness, populate, flashback, and morph. In case you don't know, madness is a cost you can pay alternatively to the spell's cost if you discard the card. Um, I'm guessing that it also allows you to play it at, say, if you were to discard at instant speed, and even though Alms of the Vein, for instance, is a sorcery, I'm guessing when you discard it at instant speed, you're able to play it at instant speed. So that's something that's going to be interesting with that. Populate, which is creating a token that's a copy of a creature you control. This might be something to look at with Kiki Jiki, but we'll just have to see. Flashback, where you can play a spell for its flashback cost from your graveyard. Just a great mechanic overall, and definitely hope they come out with some really utility flashback cards. And then Morph, where you can play a creature for 3 colorless face down as a 2/2, and then pay its morph cost to turn it face up. Morph is the only ability that you can use to interrupt a split second spell because it does not use the stack. So going over from left to right, I think that Madness is going to be in red black colors, possibly. No, I just think it's gonna be red black. Populate, I think it's gonna be white green, and that's it. I don't really see Populate being anything else. Flashback, I see it being blue, red. I can also see it being black, um, possibly green, but mostly I'm thinking Grixis. And then for Morph, I'm thinking Animar colors, so blue, green, red. I think that these morph creatures, if they have good enough effects, depending on the creature you bring out or the creatures they print, might make the Animar combo deck a more viable option. We'll just have to see and find out. So moving on to the next one. So Commander 2019 coming out on August 23rd. Usually spoilers about 3 to 4 weeks, as far as I know, before a set comes out, maybe two. But we heard from the Magic, uh, the Magic at Magic from Wizards at San Diego Comic Con that there's going to start be releasing information about Commander 2019 at Gen Con. Gen Con is August 1st, so that's the date I'm going to be really looking and hoping to see the some new information, some new cards start trickling out for Commander 2019. So mark that date in your calendar if you're excited and looking forward to new cards. And then the last thing I'm going to go over is the new banned and unbanned list. So I'm sure most of you have heard, but if you haven't, Paradox Engine and Iona were both banned in this most recent update, and Painter Servant was unbanned. Iona, in my opinion, isn't going to affect too many decks, so I'm just going to focus on the other two cards. Paradox Engine, having that banned killed Captain Sisay and it killed Captain Sisay decks, and in my opinion, it slowed down Urza decks. Now, Urza decks are already fantastic for the amount of control and stacks you can play to stop your opponents. However, Paradox Engine was an easy one card thing you could tutor for to win with Urza. You weren't guaranteed to win, but if you got lucky on the first couple shuffles with his ability, you were most likely going to win by being able to cast all the spells in your library. Captain Sisay, however, was a central piece of her deck, and it has been completely destroyed. So, the only thing I can see now playing Captain Sisay is some kind of stacks or some kind of super mana ramp. Um, but overall, I feel bad for anyone who runs that deck as their main because it was a good deck. And it was a powerful deck, and if you didn't want to run blue, well, you still wanted to be able to combo off, you know. But it is dead. So with Painter Servant, was it helping the most in Commander? I think it's going to be helping decks like Teysa because it acts as an additional card that can make everything black, which allows her to sacrifice her 1/1 White Spirit tokens. When they die, she'll get another 1/1 White Spirit. Because they are also considered black, she can continue the cycle. So you just need a sack outlet and one creature to die that's not her, and not Painter Servant. So one spirit, one other creature, whatever, and you can have infinite sacks. Now, that being the other card that, of course, synonymous, I think, with Painter Servant is Grindstone. Because Grindstone with Painter Servant, you choose a color, you target a player, they put the top 2 cards, they're going to be the same color, and they're going to continue that process, milling their whole deck. I don't think this is as strong in Commander because it's only for one person, because it's a tap effect on Grindstone. And if they have an Urza, if they have a Ulamog or some kind of shuffle effect, where they can shuffle their graveyard back into their library, this is going to become really ineffective for Grindstone. And so I think what's going to happen is in multiplayer is just not going to be a huge thing, because, imagine you're playing a 4-player game, one player kills another with Grindstone. The other 2 now seeing it are going to, I'm guessing, gang up on that person until the threat is managed. So, my opinion, I think it's a very balanced unbanning. I think the fact that he was banned before was silly, and I think this just opens up a lot of great opportunities for casual and competitive play. Paradox Engine, I agree, should be banned. It was a crazy card, but to be fair, there cards I think should have been banned that aren't is Food Chain and Protean Hulk. I don't understand why they unbanned Protean Hulk. So many combos came out of it, and so many decks were viable because of it. And then, of course, Food Chain. My opinion on Food Chain is it's a one card that can fit in so many decks to create a combo that's a really easy combo to get off. And, you could say the same thing about Laboratory Maniac. He's a card that can work with so many different things around him. However, there's a lot more risk with Laboratory Maniac than there is with Food Chain. I think Food Chain is just one of those cards where there's too many commanders coming out, like the first sliver, if you watch that video of mine, where there's too many commanders where that Food Chain can work with them. And so there's all these 5 colors coming out. There's all, General Tazri, first sliver, and others. I'm kind of blanking right now. Anywho, I think it's just too easy to fit into too many decks now, and it's just a top tier competitive strategy that I think would be more fun for the format if it wasn't. I think it'd be better to require more combo pieces to win. That said, you can make the argument then that shouldn't Teferi and Chain Veil be, or shouldn't Chain Veil be banned because it can be used in Teferi, but it can only be used in Teferi, in my opinion, for tier 1 deck. Anywho, went off on a rant on Food Chain. That's a personal bias of mine. I'm sure there's lots of different opinions. So that's what's on the stack for right now. I'll be going over more videos when spoilers come out and putting up deck techs and deck lists when I think I see a really competitive, fun deck. So hope you guys all enjoyed this video and have a good one.